Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammasambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammasambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammasambuddhassa. Today we will continue to talk about Mahāparinibbāna Sutta, the Buddha's last days. Part 18. The Buddha and Bhikkhu Sangha were living for Mala, the Kusinara, from our city after having their meal there. Now, the Buddha and Bhikkhu Sangha were on the ways to Kusinara, together with many Bhikkhu Sanghas. After meeting with the Pokusa prince from Kusinara, on the way, then the Buddha continued to go. Then after resting under the trees beside the rope for a while, and the Buddha asked Venerable Ananda to go to Kusinara, Sala gardens. At that time, since the Buddha removed his very serious, painful feeling, pain in the Velua village, the Buddha also declared he is going to take the final Parinibbāna soon. Since 3 months ago, that is why many Bhikkhu Sanghas from different regions came to the Buddha. The Buddha will take final Parinibbāna soon. So now we goes to the Buddha. Then many Bhikkhu gather, many Bhikkhu came to the Buddha. So there are many Bhikkhu around the Buddha, uncountable number of Bhikkhu here. Then the Buddha, the power cities to Kusinara, 3 Garuda. It is, only just for 3 Garuda. 3 Garuda means 1 Garuda, like 2.5 miles or a few miles. So 3 Garuda around maybe 7 to 9 miles. 1 yojana, according to some teachers, maybe 8 miles, some ideas 10 miles, some ideas 12 miles. That is why maybe consider about 10 miles. 1 yojana. So 1 yojana has 4 Garudas. So 1 Garuda has 2.5 miles or 3 miles. That is why around 7.5 miles or 9 miles from power cities to Kusinara. During this time, the Buddha stopped on the way for 25 times because of tiredness. 25 times, 25 places. Then finally, the Buddha reached the Kusinara. Before entering into the Kusinara city, there is also Sala group, Sala garden, Sala trees gardens, belong to Mala kin. Then the Buddha asked Venerable Ananda to go to this Sala gardens after passing the Hiranyavati rivers. Then when they reach Sala gardens nearby Kusinara cities, Then the Buddha asked Venerable Ananda to prepare one small bed for the Buddha. Ananda, please prepare one, small bed for me. Then the Buddha also asked to prepare with the head not tight, not okay, with the head not tight. Then the Buddha, I am very tired. The Buddha says to Venerable Ananda, I am very tired now. I want to lie down on the bed. But because of the Buddha's instructions, then Venerable Ananda also prepares the small bed between the a pair of sala trees. Under the sala trees. And the Buddha lying down on the small bed under the sala tree. Then when the Buddha, they reach the sala gardens before, Tingamita Wilaya, when the sun already disappears, then become dark. At that time, the Buddha and Bhikkhu Sangha reached the sala gardens, and the Buddha lay down on the bed. The Venerable Ananda prepared. When the Buddha came to this Kusinara cities to take his final Prinibbāna, the Buddha cannot take his final Prinibbāna anywhere or not. The Buddha came to this, the Kusinara cities with a great effort. Also, the Buddha have not so much energy. When the Buddha came to this place, he should take his final Prinibbāna anywhere, is it? Or if someone asks this question, then there are three reasons the Buddha came to this Kusinara cities with a great effort, although he is very tired. What are the reasons? Later in this Parinibbāna Sutta, Venerable Ananda will ask the Buddha, Bhante, you should take your final Prinibbāna in very big cities like Kega city or Savatthi city or Rajagaha cities. These cities are very famous and very large. You should take your final Prinibbāna in those cities. Then why you take in this small city? Then Venerable Ananda will ask this question. Because of these questions, then the Buddha will give Mahāsudassana Sutta. Mahāsudassana Sutta is, after this Sutta, there will be Mahāsudassana Sutta. In this Digha Nikaya, along this also the Buddha. This Mahāparinibbāna Sutta is a Bodhisattva, the Buddha to be past life. In the past, the Buddha was the universal monarch in this, the Kusinara city. That time may be different names. The Sudassana, Mahāsudassana universal monarch. Because of this reason, although this city is a small city, but when I was fulfilling the 10 paramis to become enlightenment, to become Sammasambuddha, then I was born as Mahāsudassana universal monarch in this very big city. Although I am a human being, I was a human being at the times. I enjoy the celestial enjoyment. The Deva, Deva Sampati, the accomplishment of the Deva. Then, although he was human being at the time, but he enjoyed with the sensual pleasure like Deva. Then at the end of his life, then later part of his life, then he also renounced the world and he practiced meditation. He attained up to jhana's concentration state. After passing away from this universal monarch games, then he became Brahma, or the Buddha who have preached this Mahāparinibbāna Sutta because of Venerable Ananda's question. This is one reason, although the Buddha has not so much energy, the Buddha came to this Kusinara, small cities. Then if many people listen the Buddha's Mahāparinibbāna Sutta, then they want to accumulate many kusala, or if they accumulate kusala, although they are human beings, they can enjoy with their sensual pleasure, deva sensual pleasure, even in human realms. Then the Buddha also accumulated a lot of kusala. That is why the Buddha became universal monarch, king, universal monarch in this very big city in the past. Because of this reason, the Buddha came to this Kusinara, small city. Although it is small city now, but before it was very big city when the Buddha was Mahāparinibbāna universal monarch. This is one reason. Then number two, another reason. At the end of this, the Mahāparinibbāna Sutta, Subhadda Paribhajaka, the monk from other religions, will come to the Buddha to ask one question. Is it? Then it will come later. Then if the Buddha didn't come to this place, then he will not come to the Buddha, he will not meet the Buddha. Then what will happen? Then he will not become Arhanta. But he is also the Buddha, he should be admonished by the Buddha. He should be guided by the Buddha. Not Savakas. He cannot become Arhanta, he cannot realize Nibbana with the instructions of Savaka disciple. He will become Arhanta, he will realize Nibbana with the instructions of the Buddha. That is why the Buddha came to this place. Then when the Buddha is inside the Sala gardens, Sala grove, then Subhadda Paribhajaka, Subhadda accepted, will come to the Buddha to ask this question, and then he will be satisfied with the Buddha's answer. Finally, he ordained and he will practice meditation. Then he will become Arhanta in the presence of the Buddha. Before taking Parinibbāna, then he will be the Buddha's last disciple among the Arhanta, among the noble persons. That he will be the Buddha's presence Savaka, presence disciples as Arhanta. Because of this reason, then the Buddha also came to this place with a great effort, although he is very tired. Another reason the Buddha came to this Kusinara city. What? After taking final Parinibbāna, many people want to take the Buddha's relics. At that time, what will happen? They will fight each other to take the Buddha's relics. Dhatu, the Buddha's relics. When they share the Buddha's relics, then they will not be satisfied with their portion. Is it? I want to take the Buddha's, for example, 2 relics, the Buddha's bone relics, etc. Then they will fight each other. But when the Buddha take final Parinibbāna, his final Parinibbāna, the Buddha attained his Nibbana element, final Nibbana elements in this Kusinara city. There's a one Brahmana, Dona Brahmana. Then he will be the leader to share the Buddha relics to many kings. Because of him, then the king, from different countries will not fight each other. Or if they are quarreling, if they are fighting each other, then what will happen? The blood will be like the river. When they fight each other, they will kill each other. Then the blood will come out. Then there will be သွေးချောင်းစီ is it? Myanmar သွေးချောင်းစီ and the blood will flow like the stream or river because of this war, this fighting. But when the Buddha take final Parinibbāna in this place, because of Dona Brahmana skill in sharing, then they will not fight each other. Then they will be able to avoid killing each other. Because of these reasons, the Buddha came to this Kusinara small cities to take his final Parinibbāna, or altogether 3 reasons. Although the Buddha was very tired to come to these small cities from, beginning from Savatthi cities, is it? Then on the way, the Buddha also preached a lot of Dhamma. The Buddha gave a lot of benefits towards many beings. Finally, Subhadda Paripājaka, Subhadda ascetic from other religions, then he will become Arahanta in the presence of the Buddha. Is it? Because of these 3 reasons, the Buddha came to this Kusinara small cities to take his final Parinibbāna. Then the Buddha also lying down on the small bed prepared by Venerable Ananda. Then how to lie down? The Buddha lying down, putting his head to the north directions. Then with his right side, his right side. He lying down on the bed with his right side of the back, right side. This is called Sihaseya, sleeping on the lion's postures. Sleeping or lying down on the bed with the lion's postures. Sihaseya. There are 4 different kinds of sleeping or lying down. Kama Bhogi Seyo, commentary explain. Kama Bhogi Seyo, those who are enjoying the sensual pleasure. The normal people are enjoying with the sensual pleasure, especially most of the times, what will happen? They lie down or they sleeping on the bed with the left side, is it? Left side they lie down, especially refer to the men, the not women, is it? Then to enjoy with the sensual pleasure, to enjoy the sensual pleasure, they lie down on the bed with the left side, not right side. This is called Kama Bhogi Seyo, the sleeping posture of those people who are enjoying the sensual pleasure. Another one is Peda Seyo, Peda Seya. The Pedas, ghost, sleeping or ghost lying down posture. How he lying down? How they lie down? How they lie down means they lie down once back, once back on the bed, or facing up, they lie down. This is a ghost sleeping posture. Then how to do? If you are sleeping, putting your back on the bed, facing up, then what will happen? This is Pedasti, or sleeping posture of the ghost. Why? The Peda, they have no, the flesh and no blood inside their body. Most of them have only skeleton. Then when they lie down with the, the right side or left side, they cannot lie down for a long time. They will feel a lot of pain. That is why they lie down. They are bed on the bed. They're facing up. That is why this posture is called Pedas lying down postures, ghost posture, sleeping postures. Another one is the Sihasi or lions. The lion is the king of the animal. When they lie down, you can go and observe. They lie down, with the right side only. Then they also put the one hand on another, or one left on another left, keeping their tail inside. Is it? Inside the two legs. Or in this way they sleep. The Buddha also sleep in this way with the lion's posture, putting his right side on the bed. That is why it is called lion's sleeping postures. Lion's sleeping posture with the right side, or right side of the bed, on the right side on the bed. Okay. Then another one is a Tathagata Siyo, the Buddha's sleeping, the Buddha's lying down posture. But this one is refers to the fourth jhanas. The Buddha, the Buddha, Sattota jhana Siyo, the Buddha used to enter into the fourth jhana's concentration. The Buddha used to stay in the fourth jhana's concentration. By staying with the fourth jhana at the time, the Buddha is resting, not like normal people. Normal people, many ordinary people, how they rest? How they rest? When they are tired, okay, they go to in front of the TV. Is it TV screen? Then they watch the TV and movie, etc. Then they are resting in this way. Or they may go to the beach, or they may go to a kind of garden or museum or somewhere. They want to enjoy with their kinds of sensual pleasure. This is their realization, is it? Or they are resting. But the Buddha walked for the world for the whole day. When the Buddha was tired, what will happen? The Buddha rest with the fourth jhana's concentration. Based on fourth jhana, the Buddha also enter into Phalasamappatti, stay in fourth jhana. There will be samatha, then contemplate vipassana and stay in nibbana element. When he was still alive, they enter into Phalasamappatti, enter into fruition's attainment. That is a resting of the Buddha. That is why it is also considered as Tathagata Siyo, the Buddha's lying postures, the Buddha's residence, like this. Okay, Chatudha jhana, residence. Then altogether 4 postures, or lying down postures. Then in this way, what will happen? When the Buddha rests in this way with the right side on the bed, then he will be able to rest comfortably. Although the Buddha was very tired, then he will be able to preach his Dhamma. Why? He will reach to the Sala group nearby the Kusinara city at the times. Then Venerable Ananda also, they were informed the came from Kusinara country. Then many king and princess families were come to the Buddha to pay respect to the Buddha. At that time, the Buddha will preach the Dhammas to the royal families in this Sala garden in the first watch of the night, after resting in this way. The Majjhima Yame Subhadasa, at the middle watch of the night, Subhada accepted. Subhada Paribhajakas will come to the Buddha to ask the question. At that time, the Buddha also need to answer his question a little bit long. Is it? If the Buddha was very tired without resting, then he will not be able to give the Dhamma to the royal family, or he will not be able to answer Subhada's question because of very tired, because of tiredness, no energy. But when the Buddha rests with the lying down, lion's postures, by lying down, then he will have energies and he will be able to remove his painful feeling on his body. Then he will be able to answer Subhada's question. Then finally, Subhada will be happy with the Buddha's answer. Then he will be ordained as a bhikkhu and he will practice meditation diligently. Then during this night, he will become Arahanta in the presence of the Buddha before taking final Parinibbāna. That is why. Okay. Then after that, the last watch of the night, the last watch of the night, 2 to 6 p.m. before dawn, then the Buddha will give orders to the Bhikkhu Sangha, the last order, instruction, admonitions to the Bhikkhu Sangha. After that, the Buddha will take final Parinibbāna before dawn of the night. That is when the Buddha rests with the lion's posture, sihat siyo. When the Buddha was resting, putting right side on the bed, putting his body right side on the bed, with the head towards the north directions. Is it? Then what happened? Many the sala tree, the bloom full of flower on the sala tree. Actually, this is not seasons to bloom the flower on those sala tree, but because of the Buddha's power, then many sala flower bloom in those sala trees. They are unseasonal flower. Then the flower blooms out of the season. Then the flower also, sunflower also fall down on the Buddha, near the Buddha. In the same way, the Deva also, the Buddha is going to take final Parinibbāna before dawn of the night. That is why many Deva come to this place. Then they are also, they were also honoring the Buddha. They also pay respect to the Buddha with flower, the celestial flower. Celestial flower also, they fall down near the Buddha from the sky. Many different kinds of celestial flowers. Also the sandalwood powder, also, the scatterings around the Buddha, scattering down from the sky. Also many firewood, celestial firewood also coming out from the sky around the Buddha. Is it? Also many musical instruments also appear from the sky. They are also celestial musical instruments or made of the Deva. They were honoring the Buddha before taking his final Parinibbāna. Is this? So many Deva from many world systems, 10,000 world systems, came to the Buddha to honor the Buddha. Is it? This is briefly. Then, there's also, then there's one story. The many Deva also honors the Buddhas with their instruments, the flowers, sandalwood, firewood, etc. Then one thing, as a flower, they also honor, they also offer their flowers to the Buddha. There are 2 Deva, Varuna and Varana Deva. They have long lifespan. especially they are from Tavarinda Deva realms. Tavarinda Deva realms. You know, when the Buddha was in Tusita Deva realm, before becoming human being, what will happen? Then many the news separate over in the Deva realms. Bodhisattva will take his patisandhi conception in mother's womb in human realms very soon. Then when this new come out, when this new separate out in the Deva realms, at that time, you know, two Deva, Varuna and Varana Deva, they also had the news. Bodhisattvas will take patisandhi in mother's womb and human realms. Then we will offer the flower garlands to the Bodhisattva when he start to take his patisandhi in Maya's womb. Then they make the flower garlands with the great effort. Then finally, the Buddha, took his patisandhi in Maya, his mother Maya's womb, as a baby. At that time, what happened? He also, after passing away from the Tusita Deva realms, then they have the news. Oh, then you are making the flower garlands to offer to the Bodhisattva when he start to take his patisandhi in mother's womb in human realms? Yes. Oh, he already took his patisandhi in mother's womb. He is no more Deva, Bodhisattva in Deva realms now. Then their flower garland hasn't finished yet. They are still making the flower garland with the many different kinds of celestial flowers in Deva realms. Then at that time, okay, they stop. No problem. Then we are still making the flower garlands, hasn't finished yet. Then when the Buddha was born as a baby from mother's womb, then we will offer this flower garlands to the Bodhisattva Buddha to be. Then they were still making this flower garland with their great effort. Then finally, after 10 months in mother's womb, the Buddha was born as a baby. Is it? Then at that time also they have the new. You are making the flower garlands to offer to Bodhisattva when he was born as a baby. Now he was born as baby. Then what happened? Oh, we are still making our flower garlands, not finished yet. Then they continue to make the flower garlands. Okay, if he was born as a baby, then we haven't finished yet our flower garland. Then we will continue to make our flower garland. Then what will happen? Then after enjoying the sensual pleasure in royal kingdoms for 29 years, then he will renounce the world. Is it? He will go to the Uruvela forest. He will go to the forest to find the enlightenment, to find the truth. At that time, when he renounced the royal kingdom, when he renounced the world, then we will offer our flower garland. At that time, we hope our flower garlands will finish. Is it? Then they are still making their flower garlands to finish. Then the Buddha also enjoyed with the sensual pleasure up to 29 years of his age. Then finally, he saw many different kinds of signs. Then he felt the sense of urgency and he renounced the world. He went to the forest to find the enlightenment. At that time, the other Deva also informed this news to those two Deva. You says you wish to offer the flower garlands to the Bodhisattva when he renounced the world. Now he already renounced. Then they haven't finished their flower garlands yet. They are still making. At that time, oh, Buddha very fast. no problem. Then when he became enlightenment under the Bodhi tree after 6 years practice, then what will happen? Then we will offer our flower garlands to the Buddha. Then they continue to make their flower garlands to finish. Then after 6 years practice, the Buddha became enlightenment. The Buddha found out that, the enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. The Buddha became Samasan Buddha. At that time, many people, many Deva also informed them, you are making the flower garlands to offer the Buddha when he became enlightenment. Now the Buddha became enlightenment after 6 years practiced. After 6 years practiced, then at that time they haven't finished their flower garlands, making their flower garland. Then what happened? When the Buddha preached the first sermon, PATVDH Sutta, at that time we will offer our flower garlands to the Buddha. Our flower garland is not finished yet. We are still making. Then finally the Buddha went to Isipatana forest to preach the first sermons, PATVDH Sutta to Pinchavakiya and many Deva and Brahma. At that time, they also heard the news. Then the other, they also says, then when the Buddha is preaching the Dhamma, PATVDH Sutta, then we cannot offer our flower garlands to the Buddha yet because it hasn't finished yet. Then they continue to make their flower garlands to finish. Is it? How they offer. Then what will happen? Then finally, the Buddha, after becoming enlightenment, after becoming enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, he will stay with the Flasamapati for 49 days around the Buddha Gaya area. Is it? At the time they will offer. Also they cannot offer. Then when the Buddha preached the PATVDH Sutta, they will offer. Then they couldn't offer because it hasn't finished yet. Then 7 Vasas of the Buddha will go to towering the Deva run to preach, to give the Abhidhamma talks to the Deva after showing his miracles, many psychic powers. Then at that time, they will offer their flower garland. They hope their flower garlands were finished in time. Is it? But when the Buddha showed the Buddha's psychic powers at the 7th Vasas of the Buddha, then what will happen? Then they hasn't finished yet. Then the Buddha was preaching the Abhidhamma talking during the Deva. Then the Buddha descended. The Buddha got down to the human ranks from during the Deva again. At that time they will offer. Then they also heard the news, but their flower garland hasn't finished yet. Then another one. And when the Buddha relinquished his Ayu Sankara, life maintaining Samapati, then at that time they will offer. Then the Buddha also, the 80 years of the Buddha's age, 45 years of his Vasa, the Buddha relinquished his life maintaining Samapati. At that time, they also heard the news, but they hasn't finished their flower garlands yet. That is when they couldn't offer. Then, when the Buddha take final Parinibbāna in the Sala Gardens near the Kusinara country, at that time we will offer our flower garland. Then, the Buddha already arrived at the Sala Gardens to take his final Parinibbāna, 80 years of his age, 45 years of his Vasa after becoming enlightenment. Then they also have the news. Is it the Buddha is going to take his final Parinibbāna in Sala Garden near the Kusinara city? Then they are still making their flower garland, hasn't finished yet. But if they don't offer their flower garland to the Buddha now, then there's no opportunities to offer their flower garlands to the Buddha. That is why this is what happened. the Buddha will take his final Parinibbāna early in the mornings tonight. Then what they say, oh, it is very wonderful. You know, Ejiwa Matu Kochi and Padisande Gani. He took his Padisandi conception in mother's womb today. Then Ejiwa Matu Kochi to Nikami. He was born as baby from mother's womb today. You know, he took his Padisandi today. He also was born as baby today. Then Ejiwa Mahāparinibbāna Sutta, he renounced the wars today. Ejiwa Buddha Ahosi, he became Buddha on this day. Ejiwa Dhammacakka Bodhi, he preached the Dhammacakka Bodhana Sutta today. Ejiwa Yamaka Pati Hariya Akasi, he showed his miracles or psychic powers on this day. Ejiwa Deva Loka Odino, after preaching the Abhidhamma and towering the Devara, then he goes down to the human realms again today. Ejiwa Ayu Sankara Oziji, he relinquished his life maintenance plasma body today. Ejiwa Kira Parinibbāna Sutta, the Buddha will take his final Parinibbāna today, only one day. Is this according to the Deva's lifespan? You know, 100 years of human being lifespan, only one day in towering the Deva realms. Towering the Deva realms. You know, they are making the flower garland has its finish. But according to the lifespan of Deva, only one day. Only one day. How to do? Only one day, but in human realms already 80 years, the Buddha will take final Parinibbāna Sutta. But they are only one day endowing that Devara. So, because of this reason, if you wish to enjoy such a pleasure, the human right is not for enjoyment of such a pleasure. Is it? Very different from Deva sensual pleasure. Human rights, when you become, for example, because of Kusala Karma, you can become Deva in Deva realms. That's a no old people, old Devas, no old women, old men, no sick men, sick women, is it? No dead body. That is why you will not be able to feel the sense of urgency. Sense of urgency usually when you see old men, sick men, and also dead body, etc. At the time only you will be able to feel the sense of urgency. You know, samvega. Without samvega, sense of urgency, usually they don't want to practice meditation. They don't want to try to escape from those difficulty or those suffering. They will spend their time with the enjoyment of sensual pleasure. And Deva runs very difficult to find, is it? If they have already practiced the fulfillment of the parami a long time, because of this, although they became Deva, but they will be able to practice meditation, they will be able to stay with the Dhamma. Otherwise, they will waste their time with the enjoyment of sensual pleasure and Deva realms. But human realm, you know, you can find many old people, many sick people, or many dead body in human realms. Although they are very rich, very beautiful, very educated, but they pass away. They become old. They have many diseases in their body. That is why when you reflect on those suffering in the human's body, then you can feel the sense of urgency. Is it? Sense of urgency. Then you practice meditation. In case, for example, if you can successfully practice meditation, you can attain jhana, or then you can become, you can attain jhana. Then if you wish to become, based on jhana's concentration, you continue to practice with vipassana. If you become sotapanna, etc., then you know your accomplishment will never disappear. Your happiness will never disappear. Although you become Deva, for example, you want to go to Brahma realm, you can go to Brahma realms as noble Brahma. You want to be reborn in Deva realms, you can become Deva in any Deva realms. At that time, you can enjoy with the sensual pleasure. There are no need to worry for everything. Otherwise, without Dhamma, if they are enjoying, without the, the strong Dhamma, they are enjoying sensual pleasure as Deva, what will happen? Then, after enjoyment of sensual pleasure, Kama do Jayati, so-called enjoyment of sensual, after enjoyment of sensual pleasure, they will feel sad, they will experience the sorrow, worry again. They may be able to fall into the lower realms again. At that time, they will experience a lot of suffering. That is why, if you wish to enjoy sexual pleasure, the human realm is not for enjoyment of sexual pleasure. Then you practice only meditation as much as possible. If you still want to enjoy sexual pleasure, okay, when you are in the Deva realm, you can enjoy. But you must have enough Dhamma before going to the Deva realms. Is it? Here, the Buddha took his Patisandhi in mother's womb, was born, renounced the war, practiced meditation, became enlightenment, became Buddha, preached the Dhamma, or take final Parinibbāna only one day, according to the Deva's lifespan. But Himera already 80 years, already very old, is it? That is why, okay, then if the Buddha is going to take final Parinibbāna, then we are going to offer our flower garlands to the Buddha, although it hasn't finished yet. Is it? It hasn't finished yet. Then when they go to the Buddha, at that time, many Deva and Brahma around the Buddha, from the many 10 world system, they came to the Buddha. Then they went to the Buddha very late. At that time, they have no space to go to the Buddha. How to do? Then, according to the text, 12 yojana away from the Buddha, full of Deva. 12 yojana is 120 miles, roughly, 120 miles. Then even, like the small hair, the top of the small hair, then one day will create their body to be very small and to stand on the ground, etc. Then in this way, many Deva from 10 world systems came to the Buddha to pay homage, to honor the Buddha with their flower, their things, etc. Then including Varuna and Varana Deva. Then Varuna and Varana Deva have no place to stay there. Then what happened? Their flower garland is very big, very long. That is why, okay, at the end of the universe, or they offer their flower garlands to the Buddha from far away. That is why this is the explanations in Athakatha commentary, how they offer. Many Deva offer many Deva honors to the Buddha with many things. Some flower, some with the flower garland, celestial flower garland, some sandalwood powder, some firewood, Deva celestial firewood, some with the musical instrument from Deva realms, etc. They were singing like Deva. Is it? At that time, then the Buddha says to Venerable Ananda, briefly, although they offer, although they honor the Buddha with their things like flower, musical instruments, etc. Such kinds of offering, such kinds of honoring, such kinds of respect is not, such kinds of respect will not be satisfying the Buddha. Is it? It will not be satisfying with the Buddha. Why? The Buddha prefers to honor or to to respect the Buddha by practicing the Dhamma, or by practicing the Dhamma, not with the offerings of Amisa or Amita requisites. They are considered as requisites, Amisa only, food, flour, robe, lodgings, kuti, etc. They are called requisites. They offer to the Buddha with those requisites. The requisites offering is not enough to be satisfied with the Buddha, is it? They cannot be satisfied the Buddha with their offerings. With the Buddha, that is when the Buddha says to Venerable Ananda, although they are honoring with the requisites, although they are respecting me with the requisites, then this kind of offering is not pleased to the Buddha. And if they are practicing the Buddha fulfill the 10 paramis since, Dipangara Buddha times. For 4th century and 100,000 world cycles, 4th century and 100,000 world cycles, then what will happen? Not to receive such kinds of offering, not to receive such kinds of offerings. Or he not to accept such kinds of offering. Why? Here you see the Buddha verify the offerings or Dhamma only. When they are practicing the Dhamma in accordance with the Dhamma, then they can make the Buddha to be satisfied. Is it? To be satisfied. The Buddha to be happy like this, to be pleased. In some places, when someone offers even one flower to the Buddha or Bhikkhu Sangha with the devoted mind, with the clear mind, then the Buddha also prays such kinds of offering. It will produce very good result in the future because of this offering, etc. But in this case, although they offer a lot of flower, a lot of sandalwoods, a lot of requisites to the Buddha according to their abilities, but the Buddha didn't praise such kinds of offering or honoring. Why? Why? To me, the two reasons. One reason is a parisa no kahena sewa. The Buddha want to support. The Buddha want to support. The Buddha want to support, or the Buddha want to support the future generation of the Sangha. One thing. Another one is a sasanasa chira titi kamataya, to make the sasana last long. Okay? To make sasanas last long. Because of these two reasons, the Buddha rejected such kinds of great offering. Is it? Rejected me, the Buddha didn't praise their requisites offering, Amisa Pusa. When the Buddha rejected, when the Buddha refused such kinds of offering, in the future, there are many bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, upasaka, upasika, etc. Then they should be fulfilled the sila, then they will not fulfill the sila, they will not practice, they will not observe silas to be pure. They should practice concentration, they should practice meditation to attain concentration in this case. But they will not be able to practice meditations to attain concentration. Then vipassana, actually this stage to be practiced vipassana, but they will not practice vipassana step by step. Is it? Then making the maturations of vipassana without practicing, without fulfilling sila samadhi panya, without training sila samadhi panya, then what will happen? They will encourage the supporter or the supporters to do requisites offering. Okay, you should you should try to offer this, you should try to do this without practicing sila samadhi panya. Then what will happen? Then Amisa Pujaja Namisa Sasanana Ega Diwasampi Ega Yagu Pana Kala Matampi Sandarito Nasekoti. Amisa Puja is the honorance of the requisites, honorance with the requisites, offering the requisites. This is called Amisa Puja. Then, although they are offering a lot of requisites to the Sasana, this one, okay, to resist what will happen. It will not be the cause to make the Sasana last long. Is it? It will not be the real cause for the last long or the Sasana. For example, here the commentary says Mahāvihara in the Sri Lanka, very big monastery. Then, although they offer such kinds of 1,000 monasteries to the Sasana, or there's also Mahācetiya. You know, Mahācetiya also very big pagoda, very big tupa in Sri Lanka country. Although they offer such kinds of Mahācetiya about 1,000, then what will happen? Sasana Dharito Nasekondi, they will not make Sasana to last long. For example, monastery are there. If no bhikkhu are practicing Sila Samadhi Panya, no devotee are practicing Sila Samadhi Panya, what will happen? Only the monastery will remain. Only the Chetiya will remain. Like India, you see? India, there are many old monasteries there, many old Chetiya, old stupa, but not so many Buddhists. Why? They don't practice. Bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, upasaka, upasika, or the Buddha's disciple, they didn't practice Sila Samadhi Panya. Then finally, the Buddha Sasana disappeared in India. Then only old stupa, old Chetiya, and old monastery remain. That is why such kinds of offerings will not make Sasana last long. But when they offer the monastery or Chetiya, because of this kusala, so the donor will have great kusala only, but it cannot make the Sasana to last long. Is it? To exist a long time, to exist for a long time. That is why the Buddha didn't phrase here. The Buddha rejected such kinds of honoring or such kinds of offerings. Then Samapatipatipana Tathagata Anusvika Puja. You know, Samapatipati practicing the Dhamma, practicing Sila Samadhi Panya in accordance with the Dhamma was suitable to honor or to offer to the Buddha. Or with this thing. The Buddha also wished his disciples to practice Sila Samadhi Panya. Then it will be the cause for the Sasana to exist for a long time, or to exist, to last for a long time. That is why the Buddha as Venerable Ananda, Dhammanu Dhamma Patipano, Dhammanu Dhamma Patipano, how to do? Dhammanu Dhamma Patipano, di Nawavidata, Logodra Dhammasa, Anudhamman, Pubbha Bhaga, Patipadan, Patipano. You know, Dhammanu Dhamma Patipana means practice the Dhamma with, in accordance with the Dhamma. That means, you know, there are 9 supramundane Dhamma, Logodra Dhamma, 4 mega, 4 flats, and Nibbana, altogether 9 Dhamma. They are called Logodra Dhamma. They are called Logodra Dhamma. To be able to attain those Logodra Dhamma, then what will happen? They need to practice the 3 trainings or Noble Eightfold, 7 stages of purification, Satipatthana. They are the same. Okay? They should practice, they should fulfill step by step systematically, successfully. Then finally, they can attain Nibbana, they can realize Nibbana, they can attain the Lokodara Dhamma. When they are practicing those kinds of practice to attain Lokodara Dhamma, then they are honoring the Buddha, they are respecting the Buddha. Is it? At that time, the Buddha was pleased with their honoring, their offering. Then Bhava Bhaga Patibara, here is also very important. Bhava Bhaga Patibara means before attainment of Mega Phala, Nibbana, they should fulfill, they should practice. The practice should be practiced before. Is it? What are they? You know, Sila means they should maintain their respective Sila, not to break. Bhikkhu Sila, Siale Sila, lay devotee Sila, like 5 precepts, 10 precepts, etc. Then if possible, practice Dhutanga, ascetic practice, Dhutanga practice. Then in this way, they also practice meditations to attain concentration. They also practice vipassana. Or finally, they reach up to Kodrabu knowledge. You know, the line change or lineage knowledge before appearance or mega jnana, or up to the Kodrabu jnana state. This is called Bhava Bhaga Patibara. For Bhikkhu, for example, being respect to the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, etc., then they also should avoid searching for the requisites with improper ways. Then what will happen? They also follow the Buddha's Vinaya rule. Even it is small Vinaya rule, they will not break intentionally. They will not break it with the intention. Okay, intentionally. Then they practice Sila, Samadhi, Panya, and they they attain Kodrabu jnana before attainment of mega knowledge. You know, the past knowledge. But this is called Dhammanu Dhamma Paripanna, practicing the Dhamma in accordance with the Dhamma. Bhikkhu ni Sayale also the same. Then Upasaka, for Upasaka, Upasika, you know, they should observe the 5 precepts not to break for whole life. If they break the one of the precepts, observe again not to break, with the intentions not to break again in the future. Then Dasa Akusala Kama Patha, then you should avoid from the unwholesome cause of 10 unwholesome cause of action. Okay, 3 docharita, you know, 10 docharita also. Then what will happen? Then take 5 precepts together with 3 refuges like it last now. Is it? Also, if possible, sometimes 8 precepts or 10 precepts, especially in Uposatha day, then they are fulfilling Sila, not to break. Based on Sila, they can also, based on Sila, they can also make generosity, dana. They can also offer flower or flower garlands, etc. They can also they should also look after their parents. Then they also suppose the, you know, the good samana and brahmana, good bhikkhu, etc. They should also suppose them. They should also offer to them. They should also suppose them with the 4 requisites, etc. Then in this way, then they are also practicing Dhammanu Dhamma Patipanna, practice the Dhamma in accordance with the Dhamma. Is it? Then if bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, upasaka are doing, practicing roughly Sila, Samadhi, Panya, and they realize Nibbana, at the time they are honoring, they are offering, or they are respecting the Buddha with a great respect. With the great respect. This is called Dhamma Puja. You know, the honoring with the Dhamma, honoring with the Amisa, honoring with the requisites. Cannot need Amisa Puja Nama Sekoti Mama Sasana Sandari. So, you know, the honoring with the Dhamma can make the Buddha Sasana last long. It will cause the Buddha Sasana to exist for a long time. That is when the Buddha was pleased with this honoring, Dhamma honoring. So Amisa Puja, Dhamma Puja. Amisa Puja, honoring with the requisites is not phrased by the Buddha. Dhamma Puja, honoring or respecting with the Dhamma was phrased by the Buddha, because it will make the Buddha Sasana for last long time. That is why if they are honoring with the Dhammas to the Buddha Sasana will last long time, then the Buddha Sasana will be very bright in the world, That is why the Buddha says to Venerable Ananda, although they are offering with the celestial flowers, celestial garland requisites, then they are not considered as offering or honoring towards the Buddha. But if they are practicing the Dhamma in accordance with the Buddha's teaching, in accordance with the Dhamma, according to the Buddha's instruction, until they realize Nibbana, it will be real honoring to the Buddha. It will also make the Buddha Sasana last long. The Buddha says to Venerable Ananda in this paragraph. Okay, paragraph. That is why if you want to follow the Buddha's instruction, then don't forget to practice to fulfill Sila Samadhi Panya. Then Sila Samadhi Panya, if you are practicing Sila Samadhi Panya, then you are also offering the Buddha, you are also honoring the Buddha Sasana, you are also supporting the Buddha Sasana to last for a long time. May you be able to follow the Buddha's instruction, may you be able to realize Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you very much for your teaching today, Sayadaw. So the first question is, Bandame Sayadaw, does repentance and asking for forgiveness reduce the potency of the past bad karma?
Can say. Sure. For example, in beginningless samsara,
yes.
According to the nature of Puthojana, they have lobha, dosa, moha. Because of lobha, dosa, moha, they may commit many different kinds of offenses. Is it? Then, for example, if they insult their parents, their teacher, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, including the noble persons, etc., then because of this, their practice will not improve, etc. Although they want to experience only just good conditions, good things, but they may experience many bad things in their life, etc. Is it? That is fine. Then they should do the forgiveness, especially before practicing meditation. It is better, is it? Since beginningless or samsara, if I have done something wrong toward future parents, parents, teacher, and all, the respective persons, etc., then I apologize to them. Please forgive me, etc. According to their language, no problem. Then these kinds of things will not prevent their attainment. That is when they should do this.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. And the next question, does a person always tells lies may cause to be born as a dumb in the future? Thank you, Sayadaw.
Who always tell lies may cause to be born as dumb in the future. Possible. As a Sakama Pitwamani. Sakama Pitwamani, they cannot speak clearly like a dam, is it? Also, Twamani, usually they are ugly like this. They are ugly in their teeth, something like this. It can cause this one.
Thank you, Sayadaw.
Someone has this idea. She does not agree with the money system, the currency system now in the world. she doesn't agree that in this modern society, she doesn't agree with the modern society. She doesn't agree that people should earn money. She feels that everyone should have a job or a responsibility, and everything must share among each other. And everyone should love everyone, should not have any bias. So this is her idea. So how to admonish her or how to guide her?
What does it mean?
Means that there is one person who has this idea. She doesn't agree with the modern society now, which has to earn money to survive and also must use money to live in this world. She felt that in this world, everyone should be the same. Everyone has own job to do and should love each other. And after that, everyone should get a share of the benefit of the world. Should not have bias, means should not have rich. This is what I understood. Should not have rich and poor, should not have inequality. So how to guide her? Everyone should be equal.
Everybody are doing the same karma or not? No, different. That is why according to their karma, there will be different conditions also. May not be the same. For example, everybody wants to become rich. It is impossible to be rich because they did many different good karma and bad karma, even in the past, even now. Although they want to become beautiful, then everybody will be beautiful. It is also impossible. Everybody want to be deva, then it is impossible. As is, they did good thing, bad thing, kusala and akusala. If they are doing akusala more, then akusala karma will produce bad result to be reborn in lower realms. If they do kusala more, then usually kusala karma will produce their the futures to be reborn in good realms, etc. Then also in the same way to be worthy, to be educated, to be beautiful, etc. They are karma. That is why to have good mind, etc. Is it? Now you are practicing sila, samadhi, panya. Oh, that's why you are accumulating kusala because of this dana, sila, bhavana. Then you can experience many good things, good conditions in the future, even in this present life, etc. But if they do akusala more and more, maybe akusala karma or kusala karma will not produce its results immediately. Need to wait for a long time, for some time to be mature. Is it? This is the natural. If, for example, kusala or akusala karma will produce its results immediately, then sure they dare not to do akusala. They are killing 11 billion, they are torturing others. Then it produces its result immediately. Then they will dare not to do akusala. It will be very good. I want this, but cannot. Is it? Need to wait for some time. Kusala also the same way. Because of many different beings accumulating different karma, even kusala also different. Some prefers to do dana only, not sila. Some prefers to do sila only, not bhavana. But some prefers to do bhavana, practice in this way. So different condition. If they are doing good thing, many good things, then they will experience many good conditions like this. Akusala also the same way. So equality is good in some things, but it is also impossible according to the law of the nature. Okay, in some cases possible, and most of the things also not possible.
問答 Miss Yado, someone feels that to die is to get the real happiness. How to deal with her?
To die with the peace mind, peacefully.
She didn't say, she just said to die, then only can get the real happiness. Dying is the real happiness.
That real happiness me, real happiness considered as Nibbana. Is it? Nibbana. The other are not real happiness. Not real sukha, I mean. Nibbana sukha is a real sukha. Then if you wish to die with the Nibbana element or with the Nibbana, then what will happen? What should you do? Then practice Sila Samadhi Panya successfully until you realize Nibbana. Is it? Then when they become one of the noble persons, sure, they will die peacefully. They will be reborn in good destination only for lower noble person. For Arahanta, depending on Nibbana objects, no more five aggregate remaining like this. Is it? Five aggregate or suffering will completely cease without remainder. For Buddha-jana's person, also, if good karma produce the future, then will be reborn in good destination, good realms. For akusala, they also do akusala and akusala, but kusala is stronger than akusala. But for Buddha-jana ordinary persons, their future is not sure. Their future is not sure. Is it?
Bantame Sayadaw, some say that after making dana, we should not think about it, because by thinking about the dana, we will get attached. Also, we should not make aspirations for nibbana, because we don't really know what nibbana is. So when we make aspirations for nibbana, we are actually making aspirations for something different.
Some say, not she say, she or he say. Some say this after making dana, we should not think about it. Okay, this one is different. After making dana, then you should reflect on your donations. Is it? This is called Jaganosati, remembrance or generosity. This is also one of the bhavana meditation practice. For example, you have done generosity peacefully, happily. You offer sentence to, for example, Bhikkhu Sangha. Bhikkhu Sangha, at the time you were very happy with this offering. Then you remember this, you offer only one time, but when you reflect on this offerings every day, then you are accumulating kusala more and more. For example, at the near that moment, you remember this generosity peacefully, then you pass away with this mind, then you will be reborn in good destination. That is why should remember. Okay, should remember after making the dana. This is called Jaganosati. Even bhavana, it is considered bhavana. Then at the near that moment, then you can also die by remembering this generosity. Sure, you can be reborn in good realms. About the dana, we will get attached. Attached means this one is not attachment. Since you offer sentence to the someone, for example, like Sangha, at the time you already learn language. Then at the time you should completely offer without any attachment to those donations. It is better. Is it? But don't have attachment to them. But only just you are happy. You are happy with your donation only. Not, for example, reflecting on your donation, then or your offering, what will happen? You are worried. You are worried. You don't like. At the times you are then such kinds of, you regret, remorse, then it is not suitable to remember. But you are happy with this donation, you remember this donation, no attachments to them. Also, we should not make aspirations for Nibbana, or should make aspirations for Nibbana. For example, you make dana, or you observe sila, you practice meditation, samatha or vipassana meditation. All kusala, they are called all kusala. Then you are doing those all kusala with the intentions to realize Nibbana. Then all kusala will be parami, perfections. Is it? All will be kusala. But if you don't make expressions for Nibbana, then there will be pirata. according to the law of the nature of kusala, it will produce good result in the future, sure. But because you didn't make the expressions for nibbana, then it will produce its result only in good realm. For example, you will be reborn in human realm as human, deva realm as deva, etc. only. But it will not suppose for realization of nibbana. It will last for a long time in the realm of samsara. But you are, after doing kusala, you are making expressions for realization of nibbana, then it will also suppose you to realize nibbana, becoming closer and closer. Then you are meditating very difficult than me, stay far away from nibbana, is it? But you practice, then you are practicing meditation, you are observing sila, but with the intentions to realize nibbana, then you become closer to nibbana, close to nibbana, is it? Or in this way, because we don't really know that nibbana is, then you really don't know me. Nibbana is very difficult to know, but you should try to learn me this one, okay? Then the Four Noble Truths me, for example, briefly, you are experiencing a kind of suffering, a kind of problem. Okay, this problem or this suffering, this pain in your body or your mind, this is a happiness or suffering. Then you understand yourself. You are experiencing very serious problem, cannot solve. Then you want to die, something like this. You are experiencing a kind of pain in your body or your mind. You want to die. This is a suffering or dukkha or sukha. Dukkha, suffering or problem. Suffering, problem. And if you understand what is the cause of problem, what is the cause of suffering, you need to find there's a cause. Without cause, it will not arise. This problem or this suffering, this pain will not arise because of cause. You find this cause, is it? Or then you find out, because of this cause, because of this reason, this problem, this suffering arrives. Then you know the suffering or problem and their causes. Then, if there is a suffering, there must be the end of suffering or the cessation of suffering. Then you find how to solve the suffering, how to solve the problem. Then you find out the ways to solve the problem. Is it? Then finally you follow these ways to solve the problem, to finish the suffering, to make the end of the suffering. Then finally you follow and you are successful, then you reach the end of suffering. Then you can solve the problem. Okay, understand? The suffering. Okay, the cessation of suffering or problem is called nibbana. Nibbana. So the ways to solving the problem is called mega satya, the noble truth or the way leading to cessation of suffering. Okay, problem or suffering is dukkha satya. The cause of problem is a samudaya satya. First, you should try to know problem or suffering first. Without knowing problem or suffering, you don't know the cause of the problem. You will not find the cause of the problem, the cause of the suffering. If you don't find, then you will not also know the cessation or the end or the problem or the suffering. Then you are in the suffering, dukkha only. Without knowing dukkha, you will not know nibbana. The nibbana is briefly the cessation or suffering. Then cessation, pinju para nekanda dukkha, the five aggregate, clinging, the five aggregate of clinging is called dukkha. If you don't think this five khanda, five aggregate nama rupa, it's suffering, then you will not find the cause of suffering. Then you will not also reach, you will not know the ways to make the end of suffering. Then you will not reach the end of suffering. That is why I need to find the suffering first. At the time you will know the nibbana, the end of the cessation of suffering. That is why you don't know the cessation of suffering or nibbana even you don't know the real problem or real suffering yet. trying to understand the suffering. That is when you are observing, for example, 32 parts of the body in your body. Oh, only a group of 32 parts of the body, no men and no women, no beautiful, no handsome. You start to see the reality, but not real yet. Then continue to practice 4 elements. Oh, a group of 4 elements only, no men, no women. You start to see. Then you analyze Nama, Rupa. Oh, then you see this is only a group of Nama, Rupa. Then this is a suffering only after arising, it immediately perish. Then what is the cause of suffering, problem? Then you will continue to see the samudaya seja, the origin of suffering. Is it? You need to find avijja, tanha, uparana. Oh, this khanda, we obtain this khanda, 5 aggregates, Nama, Rupa, because of avijja, tanha, uparana that we had done in the past, not because of Creator, not because of God, not because of Brahma. Also, they arise, this 5 khanda arise without causeless, without cause. No, they arise because of cause. Then you understand dukkha satya and samudaya satya. Then you are trying to understand dukkha and samudaya as they really are. Already you are on the way to realize nibbana. Magga satya. Is it? When you go step by step, finally you reach the end of suffering. That means nibbana. Nibbana literal meaning is free from craving. Craving is creating you to experience suffering. Not only craving, all defilements. That is why you are practicing sila samadhi panyami. You are destroying the kilesa step by step. Step by step. Then finally you destroy all defilement. Then you reach nibbana. Then briefly, you are experiencing suffering or problem because of craving or because of kilesa. Then you also analyze and you understand. Later, you contemplate them as anicca, dukkha, anatta as they really are. Later, then you are on the ways to nibbana already. In this way, you destroy the defilement step by step, beginning from violence, kilesa. We take kamma kilesa, transgressions, defilements. Later, priyodhana kilesa, the waking up defilements. Then later anusaya kilesa, latent tendency or sleeping defilement. Step by step. And finally, when you can destroy, sila will destroy the transgressions, defilements. We take kamma kilesa, committing defilement. You will not commit killing living beings, stealing others' property. Then you destroy with the sila. Samadhi, you attain samadhi, you stay with the samadhi objects at the time. No kilesa appear obviously, frequently, because of samadhi. That is why samadhi can control the waking up mental defilements. Not to wake up or not to arise frequently, not to torture your mind. Is it? Then based on this concentration, practice vipassana, or practice, analyze nama, rupa, vipassana. Then you are destroying the sleeping defilement or latent tendencies. Tendency, anusaya kilesa, step by step. Finally, you realize nibbana. Nibbana objects only. When your mind realize nibbana objects, peaceful element. Nibbana element. Because of due to nibbana element, depending on nibbana element, then kilesa completely disappear. Respective kilesa, according to. Then when you realize nibbana, when you touch your mind with the nibbana objects, real must be real nibbana. At the time, it is called mega or phala. Before attainment of nibbana is called pubbha bhaga privada. Just now I explained the practice before attainment of nibbana. What you are doing? When you are doing kusala, to make the end of suffering. Is it? All questions are there. You are asking questions because of you want to solve the problem in your mind or something. Is it? And you want to solve problem is the completely to solve the problem completely is practice to realize nibbana. Without realization of nibbana, you will experience many problems. You may be able to solve one problem, there will be another problem. Is it?
Yes.
Can never be finished. And if you want to finish your problem, make end of the suffering, cessation of suffering, realize nibbana. This is nibbana. Now you understand. Okay. should make expressions for Nibbana or not? You understand? Okay? If you don't want to make an expressions to realize Nibbana, then your problem or suffering will never finish. From life to life after life, is it? Problem after problem. Okay. Then repeat after me to share your.
May Sayadaw lead us in making aspiration and sharing merits, please. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Idame punya
Idame punyan
asawakaya
asawakaya
wahotu.
wahang hotu.
Idame punya
Idame punyan
Nibbanasa
nibbanasa
Pachayo hotu
pachayo hotu.
Mama punya bhagang
Mama punyam bakam
Sabbasadhanang
sapasatanam
Bhajemi
bhajemi
Te sabe
te sape
Me samang
me saman
Punya bhagam
punyam bagam
Labantu
labantu.
Sadhu Sadhu Sadhu